Welcome to the Jump Off Point. I am Sly.
And I am Spook. And I am the Chief.
Yeah, both of you mocking me. So we are going to look at Episode 9 Star Wars. I've drawn up 10 questions of things we, looking might happen, could happen. I'm going to put this to both of you. I want you to answer what you believe Disney will do. And then if you also have a way you would have done it, like a good way.
Which would be totally different.
Yeah,
always
totally different
to what Disney will do.
Yeah. Then I want you to just put that forward. But just before I go ahead with the questions, we saw Last Jedi, about a month ago, pretty much. Month onwards, how do you feel about it? Have you changed? Have you mellowed? Or has your anger grown?
I'm not angry at it. I give it pockets of thought. It's like something, I'll be washing the dishes and then suddenly I want to kill Rian Johnson. Is that moving on? No.
Well, I don't think that's moving on, but now that I sense that in you, I have to kill you. I don't think we should discuss it. I think I should just go straight to the slaughter phase.
Nah, just fuck it. I'll fade off to a Force Ghost later
on. Chiefy.
I still dislike it, and in my analysis of it all is that J.J. Abrams didn't like the previous 6 films and decided that he was going to make his own Star Wars films.
As he did with Star Trek.
As he did with Star Trek, but because he couldn't have the...
brain?
The go back in time
he's got
storyline.
The time crystal.
The time crystal storylines that Star Trek has and Star Wars doesn't. He's basically decided that I don't like these things, so I'm just going to ignore it or change it. And I'm going to make all this new stuff up. And if anyone watches these first, they're going to think I'm brilliant. But if anyone watches these movies after they watch the other 6, they're going to hate my guts. But no one who's under 20 will. And they're going to love the others because they're actually good films. And
the 3 others.
The 3 others are actually good films.
Although the prequels are looking pretty good now. They're looking good. They're looking good.
And I'm going to
come back, George.
I'm going to be the guru of Star Wars. Is the way I see it. That's because it's still shit. And when I think about it, I still think it's shit, and it's not Star Wars.
Oh, okay, so Chief, a little bit unhappy. I actually still think they're terrible. I find it really funny that there's some rationalizations, like Kevin Smith saying, why people don't like it. He said that people had expectations of Luke being a certain way, and when they weren't met, they got disappointed. I'm thinking, well, yeah, maybe there's a little bit of that, but the other 96% of the movie was pretty shit too.
And Mark Hamill was kind of in the same boat, and he'd probably know better than anyone.
Yeah, the thing, I find it really funny that you get people sort of defending it, and going, well, you don't like it's different, and all that sort of shit. Like it happened with the DC movies, and I think if you get this much of a fucking uproar over a movie, there's probably a pretty good chance it's not a very good movie. It's not that just people are blind to its brilliance.
The critics said it was good.
Oh fuck!
You know, anyone who's got to think these films are decent. Yeah, I know. But anyone who's got to think these films are decent.
Disney
haven't seen any of the other films, because if these were the only.
No, they'll still be shit. They're still plotted like shit.
They're not plotted great, but a lot of the things that I dislike about them is that they're derivative and they're totally against the universe that has been built up to this particular point in time.
Right.
So therefore, if you just watch these, you think, yeah, it's all right.
No.
But if you watch these in conjunction with the other 6, you think, they're right.
All right, let's get off the 10 questions, okay? So I will go to Spook first.
Oh, okay.
Question 1, about Episode 9.
Is there bonus rounds?
Yes, there is one bonus question. So question 1. Will they give Rey a backstory, and if so, what is it? So, Episode 7, Force Awakens, really, introduced Rey, was brilliant at all this shit, and teased some flashbacks, and you think, okay, fuck, in the next episode, we're going to get some answers. And Episode 8, The Worst Jedi, just was, she's nobody. I actually think because of the uproar, they're probably going to address this, but what do you think?
This is Rey's backstory now.
And what will it be?
There is no backstory to be told further than what we know. And what I'll reinforce that with is we got now kids that can wield lightsaber brooms. Everyone in this universe moving forward is going to be a new brand of super Jedi. She just happens to be the first. That's all we need to know. Her parents were drunks. Story done.
So how would you do it? That's the way Disney would do it, presumably. So how would you do it?
I would have kept that whole legacy going of... And then I know this whole thing is meant to be getting away from the Skywalker legacy, but that worked. I would have had her still part of that in one shape or another, whether she was an Obi-Wan offshoot or a prodigy or something. They're not a prodigy, but there need to be some link into
Progeny.
this.
That's not what you. Yeah.
No, Prodigy's a band.
No, progeny. No. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have had her. Like Luke, you know, there was something special about him. There should have been something special about her, but she should have had a discovery of finding those powers. The minute you made it, you know,
It's totally random now.
She's walked into Earth, and the power of the sun's given her all the abilities of Superman. Yeah.
So I mean, just to throw in here too. I mean, in episode 7, she does a lot of amazing shit, but there's a lot of fluky, coincidental shit in episode 7. I know people can compare it to episode 4. No, episode 4 is actually methodical compared to that. To actually then just make it just totally random, that makes that chance, that extraordinary coincidence even more astounding. Anyway, Chief, do you think
just one more thing before we go to the Chief, though. No growth with the character for over 2 films. No growth.
I sort of disagree because she's really growing to irritate me more and more.
So look, on that argument of mine, I can't see that growth being any different. There'll be no growth in the 3rd film. It should just be a fucking super
You did say
Jedi.
Can't. Chiefy.
No, she'll be, as they said in this one, no one from nowhere. The whole film in this Last Jedi was all about get rid of the past. No one from nowhere can be.
That was a memo from Disney.
Whoever they are. Of course, it's a memo from Disney. That was obviously someone wrote it, and they picked it up and decided to make a core part of the film. So they're going to keep her as no one from nowhere. And Luke was no one from nowhere in Star Wars. Initially, yeah, you didn't in Star Wars. As I say, you had no backstory with Luke in Star Wars. I actually have no issue with her being no one from nowhere. Like I had no issue with Luke being no one from nowhere. The problem's not that. The problem is she is a Jedi already. She's basically as powerful as Anakin was in probably Clones, and as powerful as Luke was at the start of Return of the Jedi. Because basically, just think of the things she's done, and they've done it. You know,
the Force has gone on the internet and unlocked God mode.
Basically, yeah, the God mode from Disney's unlocked God mode and basically given it to her with nothing. Would I do something? I don't think Disney will do anything. I think they actually should pull something out of the hat because of that. Because you need to, you know, I think people want an explanation and need an explanation. It's part of what I said about J.J. Abrams not liking stuff and making his own shit up. Ray has basically stuffed up the whole Force and people with the Force backstory that's been built up over time. You know, Luke and Anakin were, you know, super powerful in the Force, but they couldn't do what she did without any training.
Yep.
You know, after 3 days.
So would you do anything?
She does it. So yeah, I think they should.
No, would you do something? What would you do?
Oh, look, I'd pull her out of not the Skywalker clan, but you know, Kenobi. But you can even pull her out of someone else that's been in
Palpatine or Mace Windu.
Yeah, Mace Windu,
Jar Jar,
Dooku, or his daughter or something.
She
like
could be
that,
cuckoo.
You know?
Yoda's
She could be
800,
cuckoo.
he's probably still capable of getting the little fella.
I think they.
We're still about Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I think they could.
Come, let me take you to it. Help you, it will.
You do a better Yoda than in the.
And there'll be all these allegations, these retrospective allegations coming out against Yoda, how they fondled. All right, so
yeah, I'd make her some offshoot, and I'd make her also have to be trained to get to where she was. She's had to have some sort of training to be that.
All right, so here's my answer. I think after the uproar from the first one, from The Worst Jedi, that she didn't have any backstory. People going, oh, fucking what? I waited 2 years for this. I think Disney will definitely want it addressed. Channeling JJ, I think JJ, what he'll do is she'll turn into the daughter or granddaughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi. He would have given it to people to hide her because of all that shit was going to come up in the original. No, yeah, and that's the thing.
That is JJ.
And he would have given it to these fucking junkers on Jakku to hide her because the shit with the original trilogy was about to start up, so he was going to go off. And then there'll be a Force ghost, Ewan McGregor popping up, and what's the name? Fucking Rey. She'll say to Obi-Wan, "Oh, but Kylo told me I was the daughter of junkers. I was daughter of no one. I didn't realise I was daughter of you." And
he can say from a certain point
and
of
that's
view.
Exactly what he'll say. He'll go,
and that ties in.
Yeah,
it's like poetry.
It's like poetry.
Yes.
And I actually think that's what they'll fucking do. They'll totally tie off that.
Original.
And that's the JJ. If it was me, and I'm gonna just fucking totally
Damn
go.
it, that's genius.
I'm gonna.
We should copyright this before they steal it.
I'm gonna go off on a fucking totally different tangent because I'm hating this Starkiller base and shit. You know, they've just made everything derivative. If it was me and I was gonna do something fucking totally bizarre, I would make her a clone of Luke's hand. Like they would have got his hand, they would have cloned her.
That was done.
And it turned out to be a girl.
That was done.
So-
in
but
the
yeah,
books.
And it turned out to be a girl.
Yeah, but you can make it a sign. You can throw in
Clone
some size.
Leia.
No, but you can throw in the
Clone
sign.
Leia.
No, clone him because you can.
Leia's got more powerful abilities. She can float in
Actually,
space.
Well, well, she could
But no, but
float in
I'd
space.
actually make like they clone Luke. I don't. Yeah, you can justify it with science why it's a woman. And that would explain a lot of things. Why she's so powerful, why she has all this inherent ability, why fucking Luke's lightsaber calls to her. Because she is his DNA and that sort of shit. And I'd just be going totally left field because I don't want to fucking see the same shit that they've done, you know. Which they just repeated it over and over. And even Lucas did it in the prequels. You're sort of doing some of those same beats again, you know, like in Phantom Menace where there was a control ship, let's destroy the control ship, and that'll stop everything. I just go in a totally different fucking direction. Anyway, question 2, and I'll go first to Chief. Will I explain who Snoke was, and will Snokey return?
I think I was reading some interviews with Ryan Johnson. Said, "Yeah, we don't need to know Snoke is and all this," but I think it's just bullshit. I think they need to explain who Snoke is, and I think they will. They need to give him some sort of backstory on how he corrupted Kylo and how he became so powerful as big part of the
I should probably
whatever the Empire Mark II. And I think that they'll do it because of the outcry about it all. Because I just think Disney's just focus grouped heaven, and that they're just going to see that I don't care. I'm not going to make my own. I'm going to make a movie by focus group, and I think they're going to have to explain it. I don't think Snoke will return. I think he's done and dusted. But he might actually. I shouldn't say that. There may be an evil force Snoke ghost somewhere along the line that appears to Kylo.
a puff of Snoke.
A puff of Snoke. There might be a puff of Snoke. But I think they'll explain it. Should they explain it? Shit, yeah. I think they need to explain how Snoke influenced Kylo and how Snoke
Probably
became so powerful in
So I mean,
and basically hid himself from all the other Jedi and Darth and then Palpatine and all the rest of it somewhere online.
So is there any way you do it in particular?
Who he is, I think you just got down. You'd explain him like a Yoda dude. That he's a dark Jedi that hid away while the Emperor and Darth
In a cave, maybe.
maybe in a cave. It is JJ. It's just the same thing. He was the dark Yoda and hid himself on some other planet where he could just fuff around for a while Emperor and hide himself from the Emperor and Vader while they were going on their Jedi killing spree.
Okay. Spooky. So will he return? And we'll explain who he is. Your Disney version?
He'll definitely return. I made a point during our Lost Jedi review that I expected him to return when what's the Vanderpant head?
Oh, the General Commander.
Yeah.
What? No, the Domhnall Gleeson guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Hux. General Hux.
Hux.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he made the comment to Ren about, you're probably wondering why I keep such a lick spittle around. I thought he was going to manifest into his body or become him or reveal that it's him, and the other thing was a force projection or something. I still think that's probably likely to be the case. That they'll get him back in.
He's fucking dead. Just kill him.
I actually
Leave him.
thought that was just the meta line. Like I thought,
Because Ren himself isn't a strong enough villain.
no,
He needs...
If you could push him.
no, you couldn't.
Yeah.
He's had his ass handed to him twice.
Yeah, by someone who's held a lightsaber twice.
That is the film, though.
He's just a whiny fucking brat, and that's not going to change. I mean, there's the thing that I always have as an issue between these two films is the connectivity between them is really fucking at odds with itself more often than not.
It really does feel like Ryan Johnson said, "Fuck it, I'm not going this way."
And I reckon JJ's a spiteful prick.
It's going to reverse everything.
That will be given back
Wait
to
a
say...
minute. All you got to expect. It's not JJ. It's not Ryan Johnson.
Well,
this is
it's-
Disney.
it's a-
This
No,
is Disney saying you will do. Actually, it's probably JJ. JJ would have told Ryan Johnson do what the fuck he wanted, and Disney would have told him the same.
No,
because honestly,
I actually think what happened
it's
with Ryan,
Disney.
I reckon Ryan Johnson and JJ probably hate each other, and
I think they're the same person.
I reckon Ryan Johnson probably goes, I'm going to go very meta with this fucking worst Jedi. And that line where he goes, you know, where Snoke goes, you probably on the right, keep a lick spittle like this around. I think Ryan Johnson was representing Disney's attitude towards J.J. Abrams.
Well, that'll flip.
And that's right. And then fucking JJ
These
will
are
throw in
Disney's
something.
films. They're Disney's films. It's not JJ. It's not Ryan Johnson. They're Disney films, and it's Disney calling the shots in every way, shape, or form.
Darth Disney.
Disney's calling the shots. So don't think that JJ and Ryan Johnson have
Chief, don't
got
choke on your aspiration.
It's Disney.
So Spook,
Yeah, so he'll come back. As for a backstory, fucking oath he deserves one. This is Supreme Leader Snoke, which would imply that I've built a fucking big fucking army, and I need to know why you built that big fucking army from whatever the remnants of the Empire were. See, in my head, the Rebellion won, Luke overthrew the Emperor, or Vader did really. Balance of the Force, if you want to use that term, done. The Republic won, or the Rebellion won. It became the Republic. The Empire fell. I would have thought that all the assets from that fallen empire would have been usurped by the Republic. They built the army based on what was done.
Not even appropriated by
I have to know now why this First Order appeared literally overnight. What did this guy do?
Well, the way I see it, the First Order is based off remnants of the Empire that didn't go over the Republic.
Yeah, that's possible.
But there would have been a faction there between...
Yeah, that leaked off and decided to refuse to take...
You've taken this, you dismantle this, you build this. At some point, he's built something really big and really quick.
Yeah,
he's obviously got
quick
power.
and bigger than the Empire. Let's be honest. Starkiller base is bigger than Death Star.
Yeah, and his ship's bigger than anything. Too.
Yeah, his
and I've
ships
read
in this one's
plenty of people say, "Oh, you know nothing about the Emperor." Well, what the fuck? He's called an Emperor. You don't get to be called an emperor without having an empire behind
That's
you.
right.
But I mean, the biggest problem with the biggest problem with that argument, though, is I really fucking hate that because people go, "You didn't know anything about this in the New Hope. You didn't need to." All that was absolute.
Told.
That's right.
He's a fucking emperor.
It's like the Joker in Dark Knight. You don't need to know anything. He's just absolute. But you know what? In these new movies, we have 6 fucking movies before it, so we need to know how the context.
And it doesn't take long to paint a small picture.
And that's the issue. You got the
story,
6. You got the 6 movies behind it, so you need to know how it went from Emperor Vader to Snoke.
Have some wistful music. Han sits there in the first film and says, "Well, you know, we all thought we were in the right direction. It turned to shit."
And then this
guy came out of nowhere, had everything behind him. Then we later found out that he's a Sith. That would have been enough. You go, okay, I'll accept that. You know, that's enough. That's more than enough. He deserves some backstory to give us an understanding. Unless, of course, though, he's now eradicated from existence, then we can all just get fucked.
Yeah.
Which I think he is.
Which I think was...
Which I fucking hope he is, because if he pops up, I'm going to be fucking
I'll probably quote Disney there.
So. I don't. All right, so for me, I don't think Disney will address it. I don't think JJ will address it. I think they'll just accept it as, there it is. I mean, yep. If you look at like the way JJ handled Star Trek Into Darkness, you know, you fucking introduce Khan, and that whole Khan principle does not work in the rebooted universe because it has none of the canon to draw on. Yeah. You're drawing on the original canon. That's meant to be discarded at this point. So I think JJ will just say, fuck it. It's gone. Let's move on. If it was me, you definitely have to fucking introduce some sort of backstory, even if it's just a little bit. I actually really like Lord of the Rings, the way each movie begins with a bit of a monologue about what we're going to see.
It doesn't take long.
Yeah, and it's done in a really, it's exposition. It's just bloody a Galadriel talking to fucking the audience, but it does it really well. I think the thing with Snoke, which generated a lot of questions from the fast, is he had a very particular appearance. He had that sort of face that was scarred and burned and caved in, which sort of suggested, what's this guy gone through? Could he be someone we've known? I remember that some of the net theories were like it was Palpatine after he got out of the funnel that he was thrown into, and his face was disintegrated and all that sort of shit.
He must have hit some rods on the way down.
Yeah.
Mushed his head.
And grew about 5 feet.
Yeah, so
he only had 2 feet. I saw him.
I don't. I mean, I probably don't want to left field suggestion on just some fucking other Sith that came out. But I probably, I don't know. Maybe it's been a bit contradictory, but you could fucking say that either Vader or Palpatine had.
Sex.
No, it's not Hollywood. They had like another Jedi that another Force user they had as an apprentice who they were preparing.
You just pull fucking something there.
But that's where you're
out of those three movies. You can't. You
need
mention him. We're gonna pull him out now.
Yeah. So, but I think they'll find some. I think they should find some justification. As ridiculous as it is, I think the card they play in The Worst Jedi, where fucking Snoke had no backstory and Rey had no backstory. I reckon you could play that once. You can't play that twice in the way. It just fucking makes it ridiculous. So I think they're gonna have to remedy that.
Fool me once.
Yep. Full on JJ. Oh yeah. So question 3: what will be Kylo's fate? And rhinoplasty is not an answer. So I'll go first to you, Spook.
I think Kylo's fate will be to have a tantrum and to smash some things. I think they'll redeem him because this is classic Disney. Everybody else has been ultimately dies. I think they'll redeem him. How the fuck they're going to pull it off, I have no idea. But they'll want redemption for this character.
Right, and how would you do it? Or would you not redeem him? Would you just kill him? Would you kill Adam Driver?
I would have had Luke kill him in this film.
In this new one?
Yep. But then there's no bad guys then, really, so painted into a corner. But
Rey's a bad guy.
I just don't see him as a sufficient enough villain to care about.
Yeah, no, he's not.
You could have been dispatched by a fucking Finn or Rose Porteous or whatever her name is.
Lenny Luthor in Superman 4 has more credibility than fucking Darth Tantrum, as I call him. You know, bloody Kylo Ren, Ben Solo. Yeah. So, Chief, what will be Kylo's fate?
Yeah, they'll redeem him. Rey will redeem him. He'll save something or other. Although they need another big bad for him to save. Maybe that's the Snoke. Wheel out the Snoke again for him to save him, because that's the arc of the story, and they have no originality about anything else. What do I do with him? I'd kill him in about the first 20 minutes.
Adam Driver.
No. It's Kylo.
I feel bad for Adam Driver because he's been given the shit character. He's trying and.
He was alright. He was alright in this film.
The problem.
No, he's not. No, that's what I said. Like
the character's just nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did alright. I'd kill him off in about 20 minutes. Surprise everyone and do something else.
Alright, so I think he'll fucking be redeemed too, because it is Disney and it'll be boring. What I'd do is I'd actually end this movie with him fucking winning.
See, the other perfect thing for the redemption too is now that Carrie Fisher's shuffled the coil off, there's no parents to answer to in this film. No. So he's murdered his dad. He tried to have his mum murdered, or he was party to the murder, or
he murdered his helmet,
or maybe the helmet can be redeemed and he can die.
Maybe with the helmet on.
Anyway, let's go to question 5. 4. How will they deal with Carrie Fisher's passing? Chief.
She dies very early in wherever they went, and in the noble sacrifice of saving them.
All right, and how would you deal with it? Or is
pretty
that
much.
distant?
Pretty much. You can't do much. You know, you're in a struggle here.
Just let me throw in. Rogue had a CGI
So
Carrie Fisher,
and actually I should say no. They've said they're not going to CGI
too.
Yeah.
Considering she can't die in the vacuum of space, and basically can use the Force to fly through space, doesn't die when the place where she is gets shot by laser beams. How are you going to kill her? I don't know. It's a bit hard. Maybe a rock will fall on her head.
Probably just leave a mound of cocaine outside of the office or something. I don't know.
Oh, look, they've got to explain it early in the piece, and it's obviously going to be some noble. So actually, no. Considering there might not be some noble sacrifice, she might have died, on eating popcorn or something, choking on popcorn.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna go for my turn now because it is J.J. Abrams, and I want to antagonize Spook. So when we get his answer, I think he'll have the fucking text crawl open, and the first line will be, "Princess Leia is dead."
Is missing.
Something like that.
Presumed dead.
She left some map pieces.
And I actually reckon they'll just do it in the text crawl. She's dead, and that'll be it. I mean, how
That might create the motivation. They're always going to bring, Princess Leia did this and Luke did that.
Yeah, I actually think they'll just kill her in the text crawl. I think CGI now is tacky now that she's passed away. I mean, it's not like
They've said they're not going to do the CGI.
yeah,
so.
but it's not like Grand Moff Tarkin. Sorry, I forgot the actor's name. Who has been dead for
Peter Cushing.
Yeah, Peter Cushing. Yeah, for 40
I
years.
thought that worked really well though in Rogue.
Oh, he was the most convincing
Yeah.
actor.
And that says a lot, really.
Yeah, I think they'll just kill her in the text crawl, and probably, that'd probably be the way to go in terms of creatively the way I'd do it, because there's not a lot of depth. And the way they sort of finished off The Worst Jedi, she really had pretty much ceded the position of authority to, what's his name, Poe Dameron. He was now in charge, and she'd sort of taken the back seat, so...
So you're saying he doesn't need any more women to tell him what to do?
No, well, he might, but just not purple-headed ones. So, Spook, how would you handle Carrie Fisher's passing?
I'd have her float away with the rest of the garbage.
That would be good.
Well, with the main reels of these two films, just
fuck.
float
Yeah,
away
I
with those
just-
two.
I'll just have a first order starship there, and the Falcon just unbolts and floats away, and just somewhere, instead of where people are expecting Boba Fett's ship to suddenly fire up the engines, she just floats off.
But she'd fly back. 'Cause she
Mate,
had the
she's
Force.
right. She's got the Force. She doesn't die in the vacuum of space.
You can't do it twice.
You can.
She's fucked now.
And I think there'd be something like, where she'd point to the bridge and go, the bridge, Rapunzel. Right. So that's how you think Disney and yourself would do it?
No, I agree with you that she'll be killed in the text crawl. Opening line. Yep, no two ways about it. She was the glue that bound it all together.
All 12
and
of
she
them.
deserves that opening fucking line of text, and that's it. Just forget about it. She's gone. Because this next one's going to be set 20 years in the future when all the broom users are now Jedi. They won't have lightsabers. There'll be brooms. They'll just beat each other with sticks.
Well, that's the last straw.
No, that's the Last Jedi.
No one got that. All right, thanks. So here we go. Question 5, and I'll go first to you, Spooky. Will they incorporate Luke Skywalker into the story, and if so, how?
Force Ghost, Force Ghost, Force Ghost.
And is that the way you do it?
Well, fucking you have to now. I wouldn't have killed him off in the first instance. But then again, this is Jake Skywalker, so maybe when Luke does come back, he can come back as Luke and still be in the movie.
I'm just going to throw into it. I mean, it really annoys me when you see all these people justifying who he's become, when the actor himself had massive issues with it, and a lot of other people had issues. I know Kevin Smith said he got expectations, but a lot of people found this really difficult to reconcile. And as we said in the review of The Worst Jedi, he's just going to go immediately to the frame of mind, I just got to murder this guy. I just got to kill him. Fuck, he's a bit... Yeah, this character. How does he jump to that so quickly? Anyway, so any other things you'd add to that, Spook?
No, that's just a real fucking dead end. There's just nothing there you could do to salvage what's been done. You can't undo the damage.
I'll try. I will fucking go next again. I think Disney will return as a Force Ghost. I try to be creative, and I would say his Force ability was to translocate physically from where he was to wherever he went. And that way he could still be a physical, corporeal being. And that way you keep him alive. I don't know why his fucking robes didn't go with him. I can't explain that. The Force works weirdly, obviously, when you're seeing twin suns and shit. But that's what I'd do to keep him alive. And I would I'd give him some Prozac or something so he comes back happy. Chiefy, I mean, you were really happy with the way they changed him, weren't you? That was probably your favourite bit of the movie.
Fucking the worst thing out of the whole film was the non-Luke Skywalker...
Jake Skywalker, as Mark Hamill called him.
The person who was playing, who was supposedly had the name of Luke Skywalker. He's going to come back as a Force Ghost. He's going to tutor Rey. Rey's got the fucking Jedi books.
Rey's got to teach him some things.
Is going to be happy camper now and say blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. What would I do? Fucking remake The Last Jedi.
Reboot the series?
Reboot the series and make it so that Luke Skywalker is actually Luke Skywalker. and like Sly said, you know, people saying, "Oh, you know, you're a." There's all these people disappointed that he's changed this and that. Well, doesn't change. People don't change when he was going to fucking save Darth Vader after he's fucking killed half the galaxy, and
I think I might have to neck pinch
you know, Kylo Ren, who's still a kid. And he senses a bit of darkness in him and says, "Hey, I'm going to chop his head off, yeah, because that's what I do. That's all we
That's
do.
how I roll now.
That's what we do. That's what we do here.
Skywalkers, they go after the kids.
You know, so, yeah. What would I do? I don't fucking know.
All right, so we've gone through the main characters, and Luke and Leia aren't so much main characters, but they're obviously icons of this franchise. Were icons of this franchise. All right, so I've got a chief. What is going to be the main plot of episode 9? It'd be good if it does have a plot, obviously.
It'd be good if it does have a plot. I think that they're going to push forward 5 to 10 years in this one. Kylo Ren will be Emperor Kylo Ren, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, one of the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Rewatch Return of the Jedi and basically just pinch half that plot and just stick it in here. Rey will save him, even though she probably could have already saved him because she was going to save him. Kylo killed his master. Rey was sitting there. Kylo said, "Join me." Rey should have said, "Yeah, all right. That's kind of what I came here for." But you know, I'm not going to.
I've seen your nude, so I'm joining you.
Yeah, so you know, that's kind of what I came here for. You did everything that I thought you'd do. You killed your sensei. You killed all these other hacks
What's
around.
that song? You're still my sensei.
And I'm just gonna nick off anyway.
All
So
the other songs, Sensei's working overtime.
So yeah, Rey will save Kylo, redeem him. Blah. Do I care?
I think that probably sums it up.
Do I care?
Blah.
Blah.
So it's like the It movie. Blah.
It's like the third. It's
Blah.
like basically.
Blah. Oh, we can keep this going all day. Blah.
I have no compunction to see this, and I think I'm going to do that all the way through the film.
Okay, spook.
Except you might be vomiting. But it's
The main plot. What will be the main plot?
Oh, it's absolute. Given that it'll be 10 years now that Rey's established the world's greatest universe. Sorry, the universe's greatest Jedi Academy. The broom wielders are out in force. They've probably moved on to pitchforks. It'll be a full-blown rebellion. Supreme Leader Ren will have the First Order back up and running because it only takes fucking 8 seconds to get an empire going these days. And but I reckon, in order to redeem him, there has to be another
Bad guy,
which will be Snoke. And
J.J. Abrams.
Snoke will he's faded off into obscurity, but he'll come back with a second order.
Do you reckon he'll have a bandage keeping him together around his midriff? Because, you know, he's in 2 pieces now. He's a few stitches.
You'll have the safety pin like Kurgan.
Maybe a safety pin like Kurgan. It's like a little red sash that keeps his body together.
You're thinking of that TV show, Better Call Maul. So the Third Order will be there with Supreme Excrement Leader Snoke. Kareem Abdul Snoke.
So do you think like when they ordered him, like they just fucking picked up the phone and like rang a pizza place, go, "Can I have a Supreme?"
They need a scene where they walk into a room and there's 14 of them hanging in a clone closet, and he just reactivates whenever he dies, like the Silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be it. There'll be the rebellion now. There won't be the resistance. That's gone. We've established that isn't necessary anymore. The 14th Order will be the bad guy. The First Order.
They've got to be setting up for the next 9 films too, remember? This is Disney.
Cliff Huxtable will join forces with
Bill Cosby.
With Ren and the broom users. And they'll all redeem Rilo Ren, so they can beat the bad guy. And then at the end, they'll play that music from Return of the Jedi.
No, they won't. They got to set up for the next 3 films, so they can't close this.
And then Cliff Huxtable will slip on a banana peel.
They'll have something like like Ren's redeemed, and his lightsaber will fly off.
And
then
hit
I'll
someone
cut-
in the back of the head.
No, no.
And chop him in two.
But it'll just be lying in the grass. But the final cutscene will be just a hand reaching to the lightsaber, and then blah. Anyway, so I think they'll redeem whatever his name is too. Darth Tantrum, Ben Solo, Kylo Ren.
Wasn't that the previous question?
Yeah. No. But that's
This is the plot.
yeah. This is the plot. So
Hang on.
I think
Who
they'll-
said there was a plot in these films?
I think being JJ, they'll introduce another fucking Death Star, but Kylo Ren in
A super Death Star.
yeah, a super duper Death Star. It'll be the size of a
It'll be
big moon instead of a small
it'll be
moon,
it'll be a galaxy star.
and
It'll be
it'll
constellations.
It'll be a
shooting
sun.
weapons.
And it'll be
They'll
different.
build it in the middle of a sun.
it'll be octagonal instead of circular, or something like that. Instead of spherical, it'll be an octagon. Or
Although it'll only be half completed.
yeah, yep. So it'll be whatever the half of what's the half of a anyway. So that'll be the thing, and then I'll go on board and fight Ren and fucking redeem him and all that sort of shit. But the way I do it is like I'll still go for my clone thing, and I have a fucking scene where Ren finds they've got an army, and she goes and it's just not Ren, Ray, and she goes in and finds fucking some warehouse, and it's just filled with rays. There's like fucking 1,000 rays there.
Like Toys R Us.
Yep. And she's just, she's realising they've created all these super duper force powered rays that are going to fucking unleash it on the universe. And she sacrifices herself with, I don't know, a bomb or something and blows them all up because that would make
a gravity
her happy.
bomb.
Yeah. A gravity bomb, yep. So she drops from the ceiling of a gravity bomb and just...
From space.
Yeah, from space.
In
And
space.
just to do something, again, the original, and that would also, again, to me, fucking justify the Rey character and explain why she's so tough. And it'd also give it a new context, like thinking, oh, they're making an army of Reys. There was actually a point to why she was the way she was, because she was actually evil. It'll be like that whole thing.
So not just bad storytelling.
No. I'm trying to say it.
You're trying to save it.
I can't fucking say it.
Save the
Yeah,
story.
it's like Luke, I feel I can save him, and Yoda just basically, in the R-rated version, Yoda just says, "You're a fucking idiot, mate. You're just you're an idiot. You're an idiot." But that's what I do. I'm trying to fucking work with whatever the fucking pieces they've put down. They're not very good pieces. Now onto the really important characters. What will Poe do in episode 9? Chiefy. Poe is Edgar Allan Poe. No, it's
Edgar Allan Poe is look, you
Poe
got
Dameron.
You got to think Poe now becomes the leader of the rebellion, the resistance, whatever we want to call it. He's the leader. He's the person who's basically fighting the good fight, putting it all together. He's Han Solo light, basically, but more
Unlikable
integral
character, yeah. Unlikable, yeah.
But no, integral into the whole rebellion, whereas Han Solo was the outsider in that respect. He's the one who's doing all the fighting. He's the one he's the general. He's General Poe, I guess you could say, and putting it all together.
And that's the way you do it, or the way Disney would do it, or the way
There's not much scope you can do. You got to do it like that. You got to bring him in as if I think we're pushing it 10 years in advance. He's got to be the general. He's got to be the person who's now the core of the rebellion and has put it all together. And everyone's looking to, because he's been there right from the beginning.
I think if you look at the original trilogy, Luke had a really good arc through 3 movies. Leia and Han, whatever arc they had, it ends at the second movie pretty much. There's a bit of acknowledgement of their love in Return of the Jedi, but they really had nowhere to go. All these incidental characters like Poe and Finn and they just really just seem around because they're meant to be around as peripheral characters. I don't. Poe will become the leader of the rebellion, particularly after Carrie Fisher's tragic passing. And he will fight the good fight. He will have a love interest, which is Rey, obviously, who will guide him and protect him from his masculine idiocy. Because obviously, being a male, he just can't make a good decision. He'll probably be the one going, let's fucking fight. I got a few shifts. Let's go fight this, and she'll be the one calming him down all the time and making the good choices. If it was me writing this, I would mirror the opening of The Worst Jedi, where he faces fucking First Order fleet, and can I talk to General Hux or whoever it is, and and the person he wants to talk to would go, yeah, I'm here, and Poe would go, I'm on the hold, and then just blow him up, and that'll be it. He's gone. First 30 seconds, he's fucking out of there. He's out of, and from that point you go, fuck, all bets are off. They've just killed Poe Dameron, and that would be great. That's the way I do it, because I think this needs some originality, intensity. entertainment, all that sort of stuff. Spook, what do you think would become of Poe? What's your Disney outlook? And that's a pretty good Disney outlook. And so your Disney outlook?
Second line of the crawl is Poe Dameron is missing and nobody noticed.
And no one cares.
What about BB-8?
He'd get his own spin-off movie.
BB-4. So that's so. What would you? So what do you think Disney will do with him?
I don't know. Don't care.
Oh, that's again.
He's just the most irrelevant, incidental nothing.
I fucking so vehemently disagree.
He was there to prove how dumb he was.
I disagree because I'm just going to segue straight into question 8. What will Finn do in episode 8?
Well, he'll be up to his
so
in
so is Poe still the most irrelevant character?
No. Finn now will know how to actually build a Death Star and a Starkiller base because he was a janitor and he knows everything about ships and all the rest of it. And now he's got to go to the next level. And the other chick, his semi-girlfriend, will be right there with him. So the plumber and the janitor will then build the new superstar spaceships.
Finn knows enough to be Snoke. Finn
could be
build.
Snoke.
That would be magnificent if they did something as
Finn could build the 48th Order and dominate everybody.
He could be Snoke. He could be
could.
the next
He
Snoke.
could
He
be
could
Snoke.
have bad Jedi thoughts.
You could have.
He's,
I don't know, so
he's just a wiki page.
He's really just there to deliver the exposition. The other characters need to move forward in the story. I would kill him too. Put it.
Third line of the crawl.
I'd create. I changed my mind about Poe. He wouldn't be the next thing. You create a new wing. Fucking call it a B wing. So it's got like 2 cockpits and Finn would be in the back there, and you just kill him.
Fin wing.
A Finn wing. Yep. So because I've never seen a character who has so little to do, who they give so much to try, to do. He's a terrible character. He's just, and I know people say, "Oh, I'm racist." I'm not racist. He's just not a good character. He's not interesting. He is there just to deliver exposition so characters can move forward. It is fucking ridiculous that he is a janitor, but he knew all about the Starkiller base. He knew all about the hyperspace technology for tracking. It's like, well, where was he being a janitor? In fucking the conference room where they were giving all the plans out?
I told you, the janitor and the plumber knew how to knew the intimate secrets of top secret Empire First Order tech.
Disney will have what do you say? Finn he'll marry Rose, or they'll fall in love, or whatever.
They flag that.
Yeah, they flag that, and I don't know. It's just quite possibly.
He'll be second in command, third in command to Poe. Let's be honest. He's going to be Poe's right-hand man in this film. Disney's going to make sure that he gets some major useless thing to do just to keep him busy. But he's going to be right up there at the top echelons of the rebellion. And
Though I'm not sure Disney want a man in charge of all this. There's a bit
they've
of
killed off
there's
all
a
the
bit of an
chicks.
agenda going
They've killed
on
off all
these
the
films.
chicks.
I don't
Unless
know.
it's Rey. They've killed off everyone else.
Oh, well,
She
might
So
assume...
did you notice that you had a perfect good character of Admiral Akbar who has all this history that they killed off with that shot into the thing.
They've been shit in the past.
But they could have used him, and it would have actually meant something if they used him in the Holdo role. He was the one that stayed on that ship while everyone got saved.
Why would you give any of the original characters something meaningful to do?
Well, I agree. They don't care. That's what I'm saying. They don't care. They want to actually belittle all the original characters.
You seem to be stuck on this theme that Disney's shitting on the original trilogy.
Basically, to me, that's all it is. Disney shitting on something. I don't care about that.
Because we got these little round.
We got these other 25 films to make, and we can't have people thinking about those people that people love. We got to just make disposable characters, because after the next 3, we're gonna make another 3. Well, if that doesn't work, we'll make 2. If that doesn't work, we'll make 1. And then we'll go back and make 2, and then we'll make 3, and then we'll make. Because we can't have these people that
Marvel
people care
movies,
about.
These are never going away.
That's right. If they're gonna keep going,
We look at something like Pirates of the Caribbean, which I don't know how they've pumped 5 movies out of that. That astounds me. They've pumped 5 movies out of that franchise.
Based on a fucking really good fucking ride, but it's a 6-minute ride at fucking Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's been around.
Look, the first film was good.
Yeah, the first one was good, but like it's one of these things where you look at like, there's a number of films where they're very self-contained, they're entertaining, they're good, and that's it. But obviously the successor,
This is
they're
Disney.
going to make a sequel, go make
This
a
is
sequel.
Disney
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the sequel.
I'm
The
not
sequel kings.
I'm not blaming Disney because all of Hollywood does is you get a good movie, you go you go make a new one.
Disney's an accounting firm. They don't give a fuck.
Disney, what are they? It's the
keeps
Disney
making
films.
money.
It's Pixar, which is
They
they
are
never make
everything.
one Pixar film. They make 3, 4, 5.
They are the evil
Obviously
galactic
now
empire.
with Lucasfilm, they own the Marvel, studio, so they just churn and churn and churn the same shit.
And they're smart. They won't buy Sony because they know Sony will keep throwing shit at them that will never stick. You got to keep the shit out there so that your shit looks even better
That's
than
right.
the Sony shit.
So anything to add on Finn, Chief?
No, like I said,
that's-
Finn's going to be the right-hand man. He's going to be up there in the echelons. What would I do with him?
Couldn't give a fuck.
Couldn't even fuck, yeah.
Basically.
All right, so let's go to question 9. I'm just throwing this in as a bit of a curveball. Will Phasma return?
No.
All right, this is really interesting because in the
No and no.
in the original movie, in Fast, she was presumably locked in a trash compactor, a trash compactor. And then fucking the Starkiller base is blown up, so you would have thought that she blew up along with it. Somehow she got away from that. So that she landed in some fiery fucking pit of hell. To me, it's like, you're not going to kill her, you're going to bring her back. So you don't think they'll bring her back at all, Chief?
No.
I think they'll bring her back. I don't know what the fuck she'll do.
Is she going to be the evil Wedge? So
Oh.
you know the
Wedge was-
the side character that they brought back, but this is not just
Wedge was at least doing
interesting
thing.
Wedge blew up the third the
I actually
the Death Star in
just
Jedi.
to throw back to A New Hope when they did the assault on the Death Star and Wedge was the one person who survived. And it didn't matter if it was Wedge. That someone else survived. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah,
I thought
no,
it would
it's
have been
good.
really cliche if Luke was the only one in that assault who survived.
Well, there was quite a few.
And there was a few.
There's a few ships
He
that
told
flew away.
Wedge got damaged and got
Yeah.
told to get out.
But there was
of
a
it,
few
you can't do
ships that
any
flew
Yeah,
away.
and I actually like that. Like I thought it's really cliche if he's the only one. I mean, Luke was pretty much the last guy to go in, but I actually thought that was really cool. There's a few people, and that Lucas, whether it was intentional or not, carry that character throughout the trilogy, and he actually gained more and more importance. He gained the cult following. So you don't think they'll bring Phasma back at all? I think she'll come back. I don't know what the fuck she'll do. If it was me writing it, she would come back as a defector and kill Finn.
Finally.
Yes.
At last
she
we
would
will
be-
have our revenge.
I would have a scene where she comes to him and expresses
Why
remorse.
would I waste
No, because
3 seconds on such
Cause-
a useless
because
character?
it would be such
Because
a,
it's Disney.
it would be such a
And
good,
you need more
it would
models
be-
to sell because the
Seriously,
Phasma model looks
she-
good
in
the shops.
Okay, now I've changed my mind about Finn. What I'd actually do would be like for half the movie, Phasma as a defector would keep bumping into Finn and he'd turn around and walk the other way. But then it comes to the point where he's got nowhere to turn around and walk, away from, and he ducks into a janitorial closet as refuge. She follows him in. She expresses this remorse. He's about to forgive her. She grabs a mop and shoves the fucking the hairy end into his mouth and smothers him to death. I think that would be cool.
But then, just as the mop's about to kill him, one of the little Force users draws the mop across the room. And then they fight with squidgies.
I'm just curious about the Phasma because she was really hyped up and they totally underused her.
That's just pointless.
She really was a token character. Spook, how do you think Disney will handle Phasma? Will she return?
I think JJ will spend the next 2 years promising that Phasma will get applicable screen time to justify her character. There'll be a scene where Finn's on a gantry somewhere and Phasma's reaching out to her saying, "Ray never told you what happened to your mother." And then Finn says, "You told me enough. She told me you killed him." Her. And then she says, "No, Finn, I am your mother." And that would be
She's going to take her mask off at that particular
that
point. in
would
time.
be poetry.
That would be excellent.
And then Finn throws himself off and dies. And then Phasma trips over a mop handle and falls down the shaft as well.
But it'd be good if they threw it.
But she'll be back.
It'd
It's
be-
like at the end of every Bond film,
Yeah,
James Bond
Phasma
will
will be
return. It
back.
should be Captain Phasma will return.
It'd be good if they threw in a lot of janitorial puns, like don't give me the brush off.
Oh.
You've swept me away.
Or at a key moment in the fight, she puts her foot in a bucket, and then she's trying to shake the fucking thing off the end.
Well, the other one is she's
And
got...
then she falls backward onto a mop, and the mop looks like a wig on her helmet.
What about if she's got a bit of spray and wipe and decides to start spraying her
bit of
armour
bit
and
of
then
Mr.
shining
Sheen.
it up a bit, Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good if it was like the start of Naked Gun, where he goes and fights all the evil leaders of the...
Gorbachev with
Yeah,
he rubs the birthmark off.
He just looks at camera and goes, I knew it! Oh, sorry, we're delving into plot here. All right, so question 10, which is... Well, it should be the last question, but I have a bonus question.
The last question, Jai died.
That's
right.
the last question.
Spook. Will there be any surprises in this movie? Another Death Star, a Starkiller base?
Well, entertainment would be a surprise. Can I answer to that? Me not wanting to kill people leaving the cinema, that'd be a surprise. No, I don't think Disney's about surprises. They're about an audit trail that results in lots of money going into people's accounts. They don't give a fuck. I think, and I mentioned this years ago to you two, and anyone else who was listening at the time, that during the prequel era, Lucas could have filmed a gold dog turd on the screen for 3 hours, and every Star Wars fan would have just put $18 billion into his account. Disney have extrapolated that.
They're the masters.
They know, no matter what they do, they've already made their money back on the purchase price that they bought for all this. They know they can shit on anything now, and it will turn into the golden goose. So they don't care. They'll do...
They know the market.
There's no surprise here. There's nothing there. This isn't about me anymore. This isn't about... I don't know. I mean, this is about the next generation of people that want to give them money. I don't think they're there to entertain me. They never will entertain me anymore. They're just going to do whatever they want to do, and they know they're going to make money hand over fist, so it doesn't matter.
Can I just throw in, two things. One, Lucas... You look at the prequels now and you think, well, fuck, at least he was trying something. It didn't quite work, but at least he was trying something. Where these have just been massively derivative. And I reckon with movies, with serials, there's a tip-off point where people just go, fuck it. I'm not. It's like the Justice League. Even Warner Brothers gave up on that pretty much. And I think there's you go back to the original serials like Superman and Batman and all that. As the quality declines and the audience goes, well, fuck it, this is not that interesting, they do drop off. So I reckon Disney's got to be really careful, because I think they could really get to a point in the 4 or 5 years where people are just not showing up and giving them the return they want, because these just aren't great movies. And I think people are starting to see through them. There's a lot of criticism for this movie on the net, and again, it's one of those things. If there's that much criticism, why is everyone just getting it wrong? No, there's legitimate criticism. There's people, putting out constructive deconstructions of why this isn't a good film. It's not just about because Luke was not what we expected. It's not plotted well. There's a lot of
change, or
look, they ran out of petrol.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
That's a core part of this whole film.
And as I said,
they ran out of petrol.
Yeah, and as I said when we originally reviewed this fucking movie, is in Return of the Jedi, the Han Solo and Leia plots feel like we've got to give these characters something to do because they're characters. These movies have really felt, both of them actually felt, we've got to just give people stuff to do. We've introduced these characters, now we're going to give stuff to do. It doesn't actually feel like it's anything meaningful. Anyway, I sort of gone off on the tangent. Chief, will there be any surprises in this, in episode 9?
Disney are the masters of keeping the cash rolling in, as Spook said. So they know exactly what their 14-year-old audiences want, that are going to see it 5 times, because that's just going to give them the cash. They don't care about the people that have seen, our age, who love the previous films, and they're going to build the next film for the next 3 films after that. So, are there going to be surprises? Yeah, there might be some little tidbits at the end that's setting it up for the next trilogy that they're gonna put in. But they're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything interesting. They're not going to do anything exciting.
No, it's J.J. Abrams too.
Well, everyone said Rian Johnson did all these magical things. What the fuck has he done? That's all this magical stuff.
He's an author now. He's an author.
He's an author. So no one who works for Disney, as proven by Disney sacking all these directors, can be an author without.
But that's
they're
I
all
don't think that's just Disney.
approved.
I don't think that's just Disney. I think that's the Hollywood.
But
industry
Disney
at
is the
moment.
master. As I said, Disney's the master. If you don't do what Disney says, you're gone. It's a simple
mouse.
fact of life. If
The
they don't
mouse
like
could
what
be
you've done,
Snoke. Maybe the mouse is Snoke.
or maybe the mouse is
No,
not.
don't take my.
But if you
answer
don't
back.
do what Disney says, you're gone. It's a simple equation. So don't think that Ryan Johnson's author's got all these great ideas. Disney knew exactly what he was doing, knew exactly and approved every single little bit of dialogue, and knew exactly what it was appealing to. And the fact that it makes no sense whatsoever, this whole film, is exactly what Disney want.
All right, so
And is there going to be surprises? No.
all right, so I think they'll throw in like a fucking Death Star just shaped
That's not
differently.
a surprise, though.
No, well, it's
How much of a surprise is that? That's just
it's
Jedi-
shaped differently. Didn't you listen to my answer?
It's a hexagon.
God,
That's right,
yeah.
sorry.
And so that's what I think Disney will do. If it was me again, I'd still go with my fucking clones. There'd be a scene where Rey rocks up and finds this warehouse full of Rey clones, and then she'd see a shadowy figure at the end of the fucking warehouse, and she'd walk for it. It'd be Luke, because remember I had Luke. He could translocate now, and it'd be Vader behind him, holding a fucking lightsaber to Luke's throat. And fucking Vader would chop off Luke's head and then pull off the mask. It would be Mickey Mouse, and that would just be fucking it. That would be the end of this trilogy, and the next series would be fucking, with Mickey Mouse and maybe Donald Duck. And it just, you do all these crossovers of, I don't even know Disney characters. All right, so here's the bonus question. I'll go to you first, Chief. And I know I'm sort of putting you on the spot. What will be the title of the new movie?
We should put some cricket noises.
Silent.
What will be the title of the new movie?
All right, I'll go to Spook. Spook, what will be the title of the new movie?
The last credit balance. The
Oh.
last cash
Cha-ching?
withdrawal.
Gonna be called Cha-ching?
Yeah, it'll be yeah.
Star Wars Cha-ching?
I will
My
go to.
mansion needs an upgrade.
I am going to take this seriously. I've written down my answer. Let me just pull out my phone.
Oh, hang on. He had
look
chances to prepare earlier.
I did.
Here's
Well,
here's one I
fair.
prepared earlier.
I did send you the questions.
I didn't read them.
Oh, yeah. And here is my answer. The episode 9 will be called The Tyranny of the Shit. Wait, sorry. That's a misreading. The Tyranny of the Sith. Sorry, got that wrong. A little bit. Chief, had any thoughts since... Yeah, that's probably as good as anything.
The Redemption of Alphas? The Redemption of Red?
Oh, fuck. Ren Rising. So there's no title. I mean, Last Jedi,
They've
Fast
used
Awakens.
Jedi, Force Awakens, The Force Triumphs. How's that?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Kenner had a toy line when Star Wars came back into the theatres in '97 called Power of the Force. I wouldn't be surprised to see it called that.
Power of the Force. How about the Power of Love?
What, a noise from above?
Yeah, and they can get fucking Frankie Goes to Hollywood sing it.
Yeah, are they alive?
Oh, I don't know. I think he. Yeah, we're going off on the 10. So anyway, that's our 10 questions. Any last thoughts on episode 9, tentatively titled "Tyranny of the Shit"?
Are you guys going to drag me to see this one too?
I am not going to drag anyone to see anything. I will drag you to a bar beforehand, though.
I will see it and I will buy the Blu-ray because I have issues.
I will see it, and unlike The Force Awakens, where I had these high hopes for Luke Skywalker because I was really looking forward to seeing Luke again, I have absolutely no hope for this film.
I just think
Maybe it'll be Star Wars Episode 10, absolutely no hope.
No hope, maybe. Instead of a new hope, a no hope.
It's Episode 10?
Oh, there'll be
No,
an
it's Episode 9, sorry.
Yeah, so
There will be an episode 10,
yeah,
don't worry about
the
that.
following trilogy.
And 11 and 12 and 13
yeah.
and 14 and 15.
I just think contemporary Hollywood just isn't incapable of creating or writing good storytelling in blockbuster movies anymore. You don't get your fucking Jaws, Close Encounters, Raiders, Back to the Future, all those sort of movies in 70s and 80s, which were, blockbuster movies, but just really good, solid storytelling. And they might have had a few little issues, but not issues to fucking this extent. People defend this movie and saying, well, the original trilogy has issues. Well, not to this extent. And as I said in the original review, don't use shit storytelling to justify why you're getting away with choices you're making in these fucking movies.
And you have 6 films behind it all
Yeah.
that you need to actually listen to and and honor the actual world that you
Oh, well,
put this film in.
you-
And these films do not actually do any listening to the previous 6 films.
And you
They
can't
are
you can't
whatever
fix that now.
You can't fix it. It's gone. And I don't know. And it's going to ruin anyone who watches. The way I said, it's ruining anyone who watches these films because you can't fix it.
Oh, you can't fix it for what they are, for what they've put forward. They're actually grossly insulting. And Spook and I talked about it after we saw Fast. It was like a lot of people had relief following, the prequels, and they felt that left a bad taste. But Fast wasn't a bad taste, and it had this nostalgic feel, and it really fooled them into thinking, this is a fucking good movie. It's not. Just look beyond all the superficiality of the movie, all the cosmetics, because it is a gorgeous looking movie. Fucking J.J. Abrams, visually, he makes gorgeous movies. Star Trek looks fucking gorgeous. But story-wise, it's just shit. It's not a fucking good story. Anyway, so any last thoughts now on, month onwards, The Worst Jedi?
It's bad.
Yeah. Spooky?
I'll buy it on Blu-ray.
I might have to kill Spook. I sense the darkness in him.
Yeah, no. It's no good. It's just no good. It's just all these knobs out there, not nice people, but these people that went out and put all the petitions up to have it removed from canon and stuff. I can understand why. It's these films, when you grow up with them, they become personal to you, and when that legacy is shat on, you take it personally. And I can understand why people react the way that they had. It's an extremely disappointing movie. Force Awakens, to me, was extremely disappointing. This is exceptionally disappointing.
The one thing I really fucking got to say, and this annoys me, is, people go, well, tonally it's different or whatever, and that's why you don't like it. If you're going to write a movie in a certain universe, you can do different things creatively. Like Logan was creatively a different story, but you still tonally have to fit into that universe. And Worst Jedi does not fit into that universe with all the tacky, bad humour, and all the superfluous side missions and all that. To me, it just doesn't fit, And it's not like, if Ryan Johnson's trying something different, well, you're an idiot, because that's not where that series sits. It's not where these stories sit. You have to actually fit within that universe. You can do a totally different story. Christopher Nolan did totally different things with Batman, but tonally it was consistent. And these two movies are just totally wrong. And George Lucas made the same mistake in elements of the prequels. That tonally he became too goofy and all that, and that's the things people objected to.
Once you derail the train, you can't drive it to the station.
The George Lucas ones still felt as part of the universe.
Oh, they felt they felt like
these do not feel as part of the Star Wars universe.
But the thing,
you can say they're not great films, which they're not. But they felt like they were part of the universe. I mean, these don't.
Yeah, in the Phantom Menace, I think Jar Jar steps in shit and so, and that's just too tacky for this universe. It's sort of really.
He said doo doo.
Yeah. And there's things like people, Attack of the Clones is the worst of the movies. I actually think that still does some really cool
I actually
things.
don't mind Attack of the Clones.
I didn't hate the way, but I actually remember a really good thing. I think when they track down the fucking assassin and Obi-Wan stops him and is going to question him, and everyone's looking, and Anakin just sort of walks around and goes, go back to your business, Jedi. Go back to what you're doing, Jedi business. I can't remember the exact dialogue, but something like that. And I think that was fucking really cool because it just shows what a little shit Anakin is and how arrogant he is at that point to think, so much fucking better, you just go away. Nothing to see here, like Frank Drebin. But, I think, Lucas obviously understood the universe. He created it. He didn't do a very good job of the prequels. He had to be charged. Well, these just, cosmetically, they do everything right, but they don't actually feel like they fit in to this universe.
These two just don't mesh up. They're disjointed.
And that's the other problem.
They're in conflict with each other. You made some bad calls. I'm going to try and fix them with this, but in order to fix them, I've made more bad calls. What's going to happen in the next one? You're just going to. They're not going to mesh.
But they could have. If there were bad calls you didn't agree with, you could fix them. But you can't fix them in the third one. In the second one, you could have fixed it. So you could have given Ray a backstory. To take care.
That would have been connecting up. That.
But that's what I'm saying. You could have fixed if you thought there were bad calls in Force. You could have fixed them in this second film. But the problem is their fixes have gone and taken it even further off track, and that's just it's out of control. It's a runaway train down a different road than the original films.
An absurd uphill battle because Force Awakens left so many unanswered questions. It's not possible to actually have one film address them all.
Yeah, but you could,
and the thing is, you pose those questions, the audience are expecting answers.
Yeah,
that's right.
And they're waiting for 2 years for these fucking answers.
That's right. And look, I remember as a kid, that moment that Vader declared himself Luke's father. There's no fucking internet or anything. All you had was you and your friends. You speculated. You speculated for 3 years that this couldn't be. It couldn't be. It couldn't be. And this is the reason why. You had all these discussions, and then when the film came out, it was just like, oh fuck it, he is. Well, yeah, okay, I'm dealing with that now. It wasn't like an abrupt slap in the face like it feels like today when these things just come at you from left field and they are just wrong.
I really look at it always from the point of the arc. What's the character's journey? And I love A New Hope, as we'll call it. You know, Luke has a definitive journey. He starts as just a fucking bumbling peasant, really. He has that fucking magnificent scene where he does go look at the twin sons and they pipe in the music and you feel this character's longing to be something greater than what he is. And then when he's first faced that possibility, he actually retreats from it. He goes, no, I don't want to do it. And it's not until he goes back and finds his uncle and aunt burnt to a crisp by J.J. Abrams that he goes,
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
We're not sure which.
Yeah. Then he goes back to Obi-Wan and goes, I want to come with you. You know, and you see the character develop. He builds throughout. Fast didn't have any of that. Yeah. Rey was just magnificent from the fucking opening. The only time she's bested is when Kylo Force stuns her on the fucking planet, and that only exists so he can bring her up to interrogate it, and then she rebukes him.
And then she also develops 15 force powers to get her out of that situation.
And then she beats him with the lightsaber. And people defend and go, well, fucking Kylo was injured, or Rey had ability, for quarterstaff because she had the fucking stuff.
Then explaining Jedi how she basically is as strong as Kylo when they've got that
the way that story
lightsaber between them, and then she gets up before he does.
Yeah, the way that story is built. All right, she's going to be Force brilliant. You then need to explain why she's Force brilliant, which they didn't do. And this thing, nobody. Okay, well then that doesn't actually serve that character to explain why she is so capable in every aspect of what she does.
There's no growing with the character.
Yeah,
there's no growing. You're just told that she's good at something, and we're made to go away and accept it.
And she's brilliant at pretty much.
And she is.
And people like I saw, I heard or read defenses. People going, she's not a Mary Sue in this movie, which fucking a fan. Fan fiction like character can do anything, and she fucking actually is. The only time
in this one,
in Worst Jedi.
Oh, you're kidding me?
Yeah, people going, she's not. Well, she
basically carried a mountain.
Yeah,
with the Force.
No, but it's not only that.
It's not all about moving rocks,
No, but
of course you have to move some rocks.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, the only time she was bested was by Snoke. If she beat Snoke, then that's it. You just kill everything in the movie. But she beat Kylo. She fucking lifted a mountain. I mean, the one that really annoyed me, which people didn't notice, is at the end when she was flying with Chewie on the fucking Millennium Falcon. She was just picking TIE fighters out of the sky. She was shitting them all just with under inaccuracy. Where you look at like A New Hope, Luke was fucking shooting all over the place, and when he finally got one, he fucking turned and got one. He's really
don't get cocky.
Yeah, he's so overjoyed. She was just fucking knocking them all down, and she is still fucking magnificent. And then at the end, when Luke ascends or dies or whatever you want to fucking call it, she turns to Leia. Well, I feel it was at peace. It's like, how the fuck do you feel that? You don't have any capacity to have known any of that.
She is a Jedi. She's a Jedi.
She is tougher than anyone. And there's no growth in his character. And then, fine if she was going to be such a, like in the first Bourne movie, I can't remember what it's called, Bourne Legacy, whatever it is. He's a badass, but it turns out that,
he was a badass.
Yeah,
he's just most missing
but
his memory.
Then it goes into, he was trained, he was a fucking... And it's like, that's what you needed to do with this character. You need to actually explain why she is such a badass.
Well, that's why everyone on the net, that they'll speculate about what is her backstory and the rest of it.
That's why I made a clone. I answered it all.
And then when she comes down and she's nowhere from nobody, and then all these people on the net are saying, stuff like, why are you saying this sort of stuff? It's because it doesn't fit in the story. It doesn't fit in the universe that she's that good to be no one from nobody and have no training. It just doesn't fit in you.
And it is
That's
not-
why people were speculating.
And it's not good storytelling, though. It's just
Terrible storytelling.
why, who is interested in a fucking just a character who is that amazing? That's not what you want. That's fucking John Rambo, And
John
again,
Rambo was trained.
but you still get the little backstory as a Green Brain. I mean,
Yeah.
in the original First Blood, Richard Crenna, the Colonel Troutman, he gives the fucking backstory. He was like, he did all this shit. He was fucking such a badass. He was the best Green Brain.
Eight things that can make a Billy go pook.
Yes, that was the one I was looking for.
He's the best of the best.
Yeah.
That's right.
He at least gives you a fucking justification as to why this character is so. You get none of that with Ray. She's just a total rant, and that's what I said. Like that, they explain she's just nobody. That actually makes it even worse.
Oh, it's terrible.
So she's nobody, and she's even better. So we don't even have something to hang out. Had someone like just hypothetically, she was the daughter of fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he trained her secretly, or whatever the fucking case might be.
She's just the first of the evolved super force broom users. That's what it all come. All come down to that. The force now. It hit balance. It now has to re-establish itself. The force, and it goes and just says, "Well, you know what? We gave everyone all this fucking training, and they still fucked it up. Just have all the powers now. Have all the super abilities. Lift all the mountains
You know what I
want."
never got about that whole force balance? It's 100 Jedi and 2 Sith, so it's not in balance. Is that how it works?
I think that's still dubious around the way that's phrased, though, in terms of
It's
there's
not
always
just
once the master and
But
the
it could be
apprentice.
like
But
50
there could
masters.
be 50 masters and 50 apprentices.
Oh, okay. Is that how it works?
It's inefficient
Yeah.
because it contradicts itself because Dooku's still around at that time.
Yeah.
So
And Maul was around.
and Maul was around, and they were both apprentices to Palpatine.
I mean, it is a pretty stupid premise ultimately.
Oh, I think it's a stupid premise in general.
It restricts the Sith too much.
and
And there should be some dark Jedis running around that aren't Sith. They're just evil Force users,
yeah, I mean,
That's why I think Snoke should just be an evil Force user that was around somewhere.
like,
I don't know.
JJ.
Like Yoda. He was just hiding around. It's
Yeah,
just-
I like Yoda.
What a useless piece of
Don't
storytelling
you be
having
bagging
Yoda. Yoda was in that.
how awesome is it with fucking Yoda that after Empire was just used magnificent. If you could award a best supporting Oscar to a puppet, you would have done it. And Return of the Jedi, and he's only got a bit part in it, but then ever since then they've just constantly devalued his character, and you get to the point where you think, you can't do much worse. And then they bring him up in this one, and he's just a little shit. He's just a little fucking brat.
That's also the great build-up, though. Is it that in Star Wars you only ever heard of Jedi Knights?
Yeah.
Everyone knows what a knight is. You can associate what a knight is. They're chivalrous. They wield swords. They fight. They do the right things. And it's like that moment where Luke's on Dagobah and he talks to Yoda and he goes, I'm looking for a great warrior. I'm looking for a Jedi Master. And just that way that the puppet's face lights up and he goes, "Oh, Jedi Master, Yoda." You see, it just elevates that expectation that you've got as the audience of saying, "Well, fuck,
He's going to be
I
a
thought
superstar
Jedi Knights-
warrior,
If Jedi Knights are that fucking good, how good's a Jedi Master?" It was like an introduction that was just really had impact.
And they kept building on that. I mean, it's, I reckon, one of the great scenes of all sci-fi where Luke tries to lift the fucking X-Wing out of the swamp and he fails.
And he failed to get it off Arc-2.
Oh, he didn't bother. A friend said that, if you look at the door to his heart, it had some of the parts from the fucking X-Wing there. But in Empire, he tries, he fails. And he's just a little whiny shit. I mean, that all the Skywalkers are. And he just says to Jet, he's just the Yoda, car's too heavy. And Yoda gives him a little speech. And Luke, just like a little suck, just goes, "Oh, you asked the impossible." And and you see Yoda's disappointment. But then, he focuses, he lifts it. They pipe in the music. And it's just this fucking brilliant scene.
Yeah, but
I
Ray
don't
can lift
believe-
half a mountain.
that's why you fail.
With no training.
Yeah. And
It's a great lesson, though, for Luke at that moment,
That's
though.
right.
He says, it doesn't matter about how fucking big or small you are. And,
If
when
you
he
use
says,
the Force,
that
It's
great
about your
moment-
communication with the Force,
But that great moment, he goes, "I don't believe." And he goes, "That's why you fail.
Yeah.
You've got to have some belief in your abilities to actually achieve. You just don't get the fucking Force delivered to you in a fucking yellow packet one day, open it up, and you're fucking good at it."
And that's the thing. That Luke fails. I mean, Luke repeatedly fails throughout the Empire, and then he goes and faces Vader, and you think, I'm genuinely concerned for this character because he's not very good.
And he gets smashed,
And he
which
gets
is great.
and that is magnificent, Whereas Rey just does fucking everything she needs to do, and it's like, oh, she faces Kylo, and you just sort of sitting there, I have no tension. I feel no concern.
You're
I
going to beat him up.
I feel more concerned for Kylo. He's the one. He's the one crying a lot of the time. He's the one, having the meltdowns. He's fucking hitting his helmet into the wall. This is the guy who probably should get into therapy.
His master's giving him shit.
I'm currently going through my third toddler. I know what fucking Kylo Ren should be aspiring towards if he wants to do petulant anger.
But it's just, the character has no journey. There's no, you cannot, no one, I generally don't like to deal in absolute arguments, but there's no fucking defense for his character having a journey. She doesn't. She has no journey, and their one opportunity to explain why she was so badass, they just gave it up.
They shed on it. You're the byproduct of drunks who sold you.
Yeah,
and look, that's an easy get out though. In the next film, you can come back and say, look,
it was
from a certain point of view.
Yeah, but it's still, the damage is done.
Yeah,
you've devalued her backstory, and now anything that you do in the next film looks like salvage.
Yeah.
They should have given her some credibility, some reasoning for why she's so hyper good at what she's doing.
And then also just the other thing too, and I've always complained about this. If you look at the start of Fast, it's what's his name, Poe goes and sees Max van Sydow about the map.
This will now make things right.
Yeah, go to Luke's destination where he'll be killing himself. It'll make it right. But anyway,
he's turned his back on the Force, but he left this map fragment in case you can go and change his mind. He's an attention seeker now.
and then they plant the fucking map in BB-8, and he rolls across the desert, and he runs straight into Rey. First coincidence. Fucking
planets are only like 3 by 4 meters. There's not much.
They're bigger than
you don't have to roll far to find a protagonist.
And Poe tries to escape from the First Order ship. Finn wants to get out, so he runs into Poe.
It's the Force! It's the Force!
They crash land on the planet. Finn fucking runs into the one settlement, and there's Rey. They meet. And then when the First Order launch ships to go get him, they're running, and there's the Millennium Falcon. And then they get on the Millennium Falcon, and then they fucking fly away, and there's Han Solo.
Well, everyone except Poe. He got lost, but still made his way back home to the Resistance planet.
Yeah, and it's just so many coincidences. I mean, a lot of people compare it to New Hope, which
do you think
has more logic.
Do you think they're going to explain the Luke's lightsaber? Or is that a?
Well, that was really funny. Spook fucking sent me an article from that movie website, and they had Ryan Johnson talking, and he's going, "Oh, there's a reason Luke used the blue lightsaber. He went for a visage that would antagonize fucking Kylo more. That's why he used the blue lightsaber, because that's Kylo knew you had that, but now has Luke got it?" And Luke went for a younger appearance, so that's the way Kylo Ren is. Like, that would have really pissed him off. And I'm reading this thinking, I thought the purpose of sending the projection was to pretend it was real, not to fucking give all these clues as to why it's not real. So fucking Kylo, oh shit, there's the blue light. So that was in the fucking throne room.
And why isn't he aged in 15 years? What's going on?
Yeah, and that to me was just the stupidest rationalization imaginable. You build that whole premise on Luke just presenting himself as if he's real to Leia, to the Rebels, and then to the fucking First Order, and then to Kylo. Not to be giving subtle hints like he's some, masterful, fucking Hannibal Lecter serial killer. I'll just give a few hints to mock, the people who might be able to discover this.
None of this stuff was thought through.
No, and that
just was made up on the spot.
Yeah, and they just really don't.
Well, that's how it comes across. I'm sure there was some...
Nothing. No.
There was 3 meetings where they had lunch in one of them and probably watched some porn in a Winnebago on the other.
And this is...
And write a few things on the napkin.
But there was no sense that any of this has been mapped
but
out.
This is the big problem for me, is if you go to fucking Worst Jedi and even Fast Awakens, it's the Luke being embittered, not that okay, I could have bought that if you really worked out a way to sell it to me. That's like such a small part of what is wrong with this movie. There is so many fucking plot elements which you're just sitting there going, it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. Why do you suddenly have fuel? Why do the rebel ships will not outrun the
How
First Order ships.
does Leia live
Yeah,
after getting blasted out into space?
And there's so
And
many...
why, why is your option to go and get the code breaker, who just happens to be in prison
that was a different prison.
in your prison cell?
And there's so many cool things. I think I was saying to Speak, I reckon I would have done like a great scene at the opening of Fast, or whatever you're going to call it. He called it, where you remember Luke in Return of the Jedi when he goes to fucking Jabba's palace and you just see the door open in silhouette and then the guards confront him. I would have done a great scene like that, and then I would have zoomed in. It would have been Leia, it would have been Luke, and it would have just established, she's a fucking Jedi now. 20 years have passed. She is a kick-ass Jedi, because that's naturally what you would have done. All her shit as being a general politician, that would have been secondary. It would have been more important.
She would have trained to be a Jedi to
yeah.
get to the level, and then she could have went back to being the
This whole
ambassador.
thing, like where they're going, oh, well, fucking 20 years on, she hasn't done one bit of fucking training until she's floated out into space and pointed at the ship. And as other people have pointed out, she's floated in through a fucking hole in the ship. They've opened the door. There's no vacuum whatsoever. Hasn't sucked everybody out. She's just, stumbled out.
That's the least of the problems of that scene.
But it's that's what I'm saying. It's like these movies, there's so many problems in the whole storytelling element, the whole fucking plotting aspect. It's not just that you've presented Luke different to what we expected. Fine, I could have bought that if you fucking did it well.
Like, you can explain it. It's like, you said you jumped off when you said Luke Skywalker was missing. I said, well, I can hack that. As long as it wasn't missing for 15 years, which is what it is. If it was missing for a year, for example, you can handle that. All right, he's missing for years doing some shit, and no one can find him because he's wherever. But he's gone in.
If I can just jump in quickly too, I mean, I as I said, I thought the way they sold him Fast, he had left to find resources or information.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah.
Not just he's decided to go chuck a tantrum
but
and
he's
off.
And start to die.
And start sucking, big cow tits for some milk.
It could have been at least. Was it blue milk?
Maybe
that's where Aunt Peru got all her milk from, and she had a big
actually, can I throw in something
big space
fucking
cow in the back of Tatooine?
Since we're on that planet, can I just throw in something fucking random? Is they at that point where Rey just says to Luke, "Well, fuck it, you're useless. I'm leaving," and she jumps on the Millennium Falcon. There's fucking these porgs everywhere. They are everywhere. Why the fuck would you take off from a planet and leave these little shits all over your ship? That would be like I was saying.
Chewie was hungry.
It'd be like
Chewie ate one.
I was saying to Speak, it'd be like going to Phillip Island and see the penguins, and when you left, like they're all over the car. And you just go, fuck, we'll just drive. We'll just leave. It's like on the dashboard, and like Chewie's going.
She was just about to kill Luke. What does she care about a porg?
But they're all over the place. They're like fucking.
She just needs to put the windscreen wipers on and wipe them off.
But there's that one on the dashboard, and Chewie goes, oh, like he's complaining. Like, you didn't serve it when you fucking took off. You're complaining now that you're flying. It would have been good like if you picked it up and just ripped its head off. But that was like fucking. It's such a merchandising move. But yeah, anyway, I mean, I don't know. I think we could probably rip.
We started with the 11 questions and then we've gone back into the movie. So I think we need to.
I think it's technically called meandering.
Yeah.
I
think
we
need to wrap it up.
I think technically it's called just. It's not a good movie. It's not a good.
That
movie.
was the last thoughts, though, wasn't it? 20 minutes ago. This is the last thoughts.
This is the last. But last thoughts.
The last thoughts.
Oh, look,
Do you have any last thoughts?
I think this really just sort of illustrates how poor a movie story. Porg story it is. We're not the only ones criticising it. There's a lot of people criticising. If you're right in criticising it, if you have valid,
you don't like a
logical
film.
reasons.
You don't like the film. It's simple. If you like a film, you like a film.
Yeah,
we don't like it.
Yeah, but we don't like a film. I just don't like people go, don't complain. All movies have problems. But you'll find with people who say this, they also have a jump off point. It might be a little bit, their tolerance of shit might be higher. But they'll still jump off.
It could also be after 3 or 4 viewings, that's when you jump off. That sometimes you need to see something a few times to realise you were wrong.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've always said, visually movies look brilliant now, and I think that really fools people into thinking they are good movies. Because early, 20, 30 years ago, a shit movie, you'd pick up the hints that it was a shit movie because it would just look shit. The actors would be shit. You'd get B-grade actors, you'd fucking have bad effects and all that. It would really be just sold as... It would sell itself to you as shit. Now, you don't get that. You get A-list actors, great visuals, sweet visuals, and then you just think, oh, it must be good. How could the movie look this good? Be shit. Anyway, I think that's it. So, if there's nothing else, I think we should probably sign off. Hope you enjoyed the 10 questions and the bonus question. Disney, if you want to call me about writing the next script, my number, well, just don't worry about it. I won't work with JJ. Anyway, that's it from us. Thanks.
Thanks for making it this far if you did.
Yes, thank you, and have a good night.
All right, see ya.